Hello there once again. Here's my, a lot of videos today. The other day I had released my video about my adventure creation binder, and when I had done that, I had talked about looking for new material for my books, or for my binders. And one of the things that happened was I was talking to PhD&D, and I had tried to find this before, but the Adventure Builders Workshop by Dungeons and Dragons, and I tried to find it in print form because Rodney Thompson said that he would type something up on his blog. I couldn't find that, but what I found was dungeonsmaster.com. It's a blog that goes back 5-6 years, I think, maybe even longer. Had a ton of great material, and he had it all typed up, and so I went through it, and he had it in different parts. I went through it. There's one post that says he's not going to do a review of everything. And then there's another one not too long after that in September of 2010, I believe, that gives you everything that was said in the workshop. So I copied all that, pasted it into a Word document, and I'm going to add that to my adventure creation binder. And again, that was dungeonsmaster.com. It's a blog site. And I think there's a few people that write for it. But anyways, so was looking through his blog posts, and one of the topics I came up on, which is an old topic on his, was magic items, and I think it was called +1 swords. And it got me thinking a lot about how we describe our magic items in games. And, I don't think I've ever in-game referred to a sword as a +1 sword. But I could definitely see how, NPC will say, "Oh, that's a beautiful sword you got there," or "That's some beautiful armor there. What is it?" And I could see a player, maybe a newer player, or somebody who hasn't played a lot, saying, "Oh, it's my +1 armor, or my +1 sword." I could see somebody saying that. And so one of the things this got me thinking about doing is from now on, which I don't give out a lot of magic items, but from now on, when I give out a magic item, I might make a little strip of paper, maybe like 3 lines, with a typed up description of the item. And sure, it might be a +1 sword or whatever, but it's not going to say that on their sheet. It's going to say the name of the sword, and it's going to give you a brief history of the sword, and maybe if there's any insignia or something on it. Now, if it's a magic sword, right, and it deals flame damage, for example, maybe it has flames on it. Or maybe it has rune symbols that say something about, hail to the god of fire, or, some phrase that refers to fire. And that will be how they will know that it probably does fire damage. Now, out of game, between sessions, I might tell them, yes, it is a +1 sword of fire damage. But in game, they will have this sheet of paper, so if anyone ever asks, they can say this is what it is if they want to, or they can just say, "Oh yeah, it's a nice sword I found somewhere, or I bought," or whatever they want to say, which I don't let magic items get bought or sold. Well, they can sell it, but they can't buy it. They might be able to buy it back eventually if they sell it, though. But, no. But I guess my point is with magic items, I think to eliminate something like that, and to also, I think, add some flavor to the game, give them a little sheet of paper. And the thing that made me think about this also is that the last time I did D&D encounters on the other side of the state, when I was doing some consulting work, I got a little sheet of paper that said that I got this magic plush sword. It did say in the description stuff all the effects of it, but for some of the more roleplay heavy players in this group, I thought maybe this video might be beneficial to you. Maybe you'll take something from it and incorporate it. So, and maybe you don't ever tell the player that it's a +1 sword. Maybe you just tell them this is the name of your sword, and this is the history of it, and that's it. And then you as a GM have something in your notes or on your board that says, add +1 to hit, add +1 to damage, and you keep track of it as a DM in order to prevent the players from ever truly knowing how powerful something is. Because, I mean, really, if you think about it, how is a player going to know the difference between a +2 regular sword and a +3 regular damage sword? They really wouldn't know which one was better. They might know this one feels better than that one, but why? What makes it feel better? Is it lighter? Is it heavier? You know, if I had a sword that I think was lighter, I think it would feel like it'd be easier to hit something. But if I had a sword that was heavier, I'd probably think, oh, this is going to deal a ton more damage than that light sword, you know? So it's just something to think about in maybe your descriptions or how you want to handle magic items. But yeah, that's it. So hope you like this video about magic items and +1 and +2s and plus whatever you want to call them, swords and axes and whatever. Give me your thoughts and opinions. Let me know if that's something you're going to put more thought into as you go forward, or maybe if you just think this is an interesting video. That's it. Thanks. Bye.